Carol Costello from CNN, and the N stands for knowledge. So Carol Costello, she's a fantastic journalist. She has on the Code Pink lady. What's her name?
Medea Benjamin.
Medea Benjamin. So she brings her on, and immediately Carol Costello gets to the heart of the matter with her first question.
Welcome, Medea.
Hi, thanks for having me on the show.
So how did you get in?
That's her question. How did you get into this thing, by the way? Because I couldn't get a ticket, and I'm on CNN. Why couldn't I get it? Let's just get right to the point. So in her setup piece, Carol Costello referred to her as a heckler. They referred to Medea Benjamin as a heckler, and so Medea Benjamin, Code Pink, took issue with that, and she explains to Carol Costello why she's not a heckler, and here it is.
Well, first I want to take objection with the term heckler because I actually had an invitation to get in and I felt compelled to speak out. I waited till the end of the speech. I didn't hear what many of us thought we were going to hear, which are significant policy changes.
You clearly interrupted the president, though. That would be heckling.
And again, let's spend more time quibbling over the definition of heckle, which has nothing to do with the story whatsoever. First two questions, how did you get in? Has nothing to do with the story. And two, let's don't quibble about whether you were heckling or not. Let me tell you something from a guy, I've been a comedian for 20 plus years, toured all over the world. Well, I've been heckled. What she did to him is not heckling, because hecklers rarely impart useful information. That is a big difference between what she was doing and a heckler.
She was doing her own material.
Yes.
Also, am I the only one who caught? There's a little irony that you literally interrupt someone with a question about how you interrupted someone. Yeah.
I couldn't. Yes,
beautiful.
Ben. I caught that too after you said it. And then
yes, and then I caught it after you said it.
And then Kelly got
so we
it.
all saw it. Good. That's all that's important.
Yes, so she's calling her a heckler, meanwhile interrupting her response about being called a heckler.
She uses the word interrupting in the interrupting question.
Okay.
It's impressive. Yeah.
So Carol,
It's very meta.
Yeah.
Carol gets even better. Here, Carol Costello, some more questions.
Well, I don't call it heckling. I call it speaking out because the president is not implementing policies that we need to see changed. I've written books on these issues, including one called Drone Warfare. I go around talking to people around the country and around the world. I went to Pakistan recently, meeting with victims of our drone
But it seemed as if the president
strikes.
was changing his tone on Gitmo and on drones. So you were kind of getting what you wanted anyway. So why go into this speech and heckle him when he's kind of talking in a way that you should welcome?
Yeah, Carol, why would she? Maybe you should ask and then try to answer that question yourself, and then you would know why she did it, because maybe Barack Obama wasn't saying what she wanted him to say and what he was supposed to be saying. And if you knew anything about this drone issue, Carol, you would know that he wasn't saying what he was not only expected to say, but what she thought he was going to say, which is why she heckled him. But because you don't know anything about the fucking story, you're sitting here going, what's your problem, man? Why you gotta make it so weird with the president?
And did you notice the subtle use of the ugly pictures?
Oh, yes.
Of Medea?
So you're making the point, so while she's talking to her and trying to call her a heckler, they're showing pictures of this woman
that makes her look kind of crazy.
Trying to make her look nuts.
Yeah.
Yes. So
no, it's just that's clearly what the idea was, that we're going to have Medea Benjamin on, the crazy woman who interrupted the president.
Yes.
Like that, and that's as far as that went. Like, I guarantee you at this point, and I know CNN has done stories, and if CNN were here to defend themselves, they would say, we've done many drone stories, right? But this was not a drone story to them. This was the crazy woman.
This is a heckling story.
And God forbid it would be a question. Because, you talk about spin, and that's what I was thinking about when you were talking, is that the spin is so impressive, because what the White House did here was let media know what was coming at this speech. And what was coming at this speech was major policy changes. Rethinking Guantanamo, tightening the drone rules, maybe taking drones out of the hands of the CIA, turning it over to the military. And then the speech did about 46% of that. So it didn't do it. But there was already press about what a sort of forward-thinking progressive speech it was. So it took really smart people like Medea Benjamin and like McClatchy News Service, who was great on the Iraq War from day one, by the way, to write stories that were like, wait a minute, I didn't hear that in this speech.
Right.
We were all told that this was coming,
And then it
and
didn't
that's what
come.
happened. But they've done such an effective job, the Obama White House had
Yes.
done, to sell what it was going to be, that they were able to not really do anything that they said they were going to do, or about half of it at best, and still get the press as if they'd done it completely.
And the liberty part of the speech, the part where Barack admits, that stuff, like that's what we got. And
Yeah.
that's as good as we get
That's as
these
good as we
days.
get. Lip
That's as
service.
good as we get, baby.
It's lip service,
That's
right.
it. At least we're talking about it now and pretending that it's not completely a non-issue.
Then the thing is, Medea Benjamin's at a clear disadvantage because peace only seems crazy because there's so little money in it.
Yes. It's so true.
Yes.
And she brings up the things, I was talking to you earlier about this. When I was watching the speech, I had every single emotion, and then she started speaking, and a part of me goes, oh, but wait, I want to believe in what he's saying. And then she speaks the truth, and then that's when I have to sit with my own inner moral compass and go, no, she's speaking the truth, and why is it so hard to do the right thing in this country again?
Well, that's what we need. We need people to speak truth to power and then call them crazy.
Yeah, there we go.
It
That'll
doesn't
solve
help.
it all.
Doesn't help. Like generally, Americans will see an argument between someone named Carol Costello and someone named Medea Benjamin, and they
Yeah.
will side with Carol Costello.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I for the CNN, the important thing in all this, I think, is to recognize that CNN and everybody else, and CNN is merely a part of it, the New York Times just won't shut up about what a great speech it was
Yes.
right afterwards, is to recognize that, hey, you know what, we got spun here, and it's okay, we fell for it for 3
Right.
days. Now don't fall
Now
for
let's
it.
call it out.
Now let's go realize, wait a minute, the speech wasn't what we
Carol
said it was.